So I've been getting the question a lot this week about how to take care, how to remedy low back tightness and hip flexor tightness. So I wanted to offer up some help for you so that you can maybe apply some of these exercises and some of this information during the week. So one of the things you want to remember or keep in mind about balancing out any tight spots in your body is that you need to incorporate balance, which is a combination of stretching and strength. And just like anything that you want to last, like say for example, painting, you prime first and then you paint. If you're putting on makeup, you put foundation on first and then you apply your makeup. So you always want to have that foundational layer set first before you start to go into bigger, harder, more demanding exercises. So you want to work small, you want to work deep and focused, very mindful, not going for the big stuff first, but working real little. And that's the way you're going to have the long-lasting results. And that's what we're going for, is for those long-lasting results. So when you're doing stretching, you always want to reinforce it then with strengthening. And so the two will always go together. Sometimes it's a little ping pong match back and forth between a little bit of stretch somewhere, a little bit of strength on the opposite side, a little bit of strength on that side, a little bit of stretch on the other side. So for the back and for the hip flexors, you're going to have to enjoy my muscle pants for a second. So if we're talking about tight low back, this area is congested. The way that you're going to balance it out is by strengthening the abdominals in the front to bring length to the low back. If you're talking about tight hip flexors, what you're going to have to do is bring strength to the glutes, to the hamstrings, to get some space in the front. And you can see that little system goes together. So it's very common for tight low back and hip flexor to be together always. So therefore, you want to work the opposite stuff, which is the abs and the low glutes and the hamstrings to get the balance. So the exercises that we're going to do today are going to focus on that. Hey guys. And they're just small for now. And if you want to get even more in depth with it, and if you want to get into even more exercises, I'll recommend a few videos on my website that you can apply and challenge yourself during the week, or just vary it up, because it's nice to have variety in your life. Okay, so keeping that in mind again about the balance. So another example I like to think about is if you were going to set a canvas painting. You stretch that canvas over the frame, and then to keep it there, you have to staple it in place or glue it in place. You have to fasten it and set it in place. You know, and likewise with putting your beds on your bedding. No, opposite. Bedding on your bed. You're going to stretch the bedding, and if you don't latch it around the end, that sucker's going to slingshot back. So that's the same with the muscles. You're going to stretch them, but if you don't then set them with the opposite muscle, the chances are they're going to come back to that tight mode that you were trying to get them out of in the first place. And also by working deep and by working slow, it's going to help the fascia change too. So it's not just that you're dealing with muscle, you're always dealing with fascia as well. And fascia has a little different way of being. So it takes a little more patience, a little more time, a little slower, deeper work, like I was saying, to get that fascia to change. Let's get into the exercises. So just a few this morning, nothing crazy. All right. So first, you're going to be laying on your back. And just settle in for a moment. Just take a couple of deep breaths here. As you breathe, you want to work in a way where you're not creating tension in the body. And then we're going to hone in on the pelvis here. So we were talking about tight low back. How do you bring that space to a tight low back? You're going to draw in a little bit of a contraction or a little bit of shortening through the front of your pelvis. So drawing your hips towards your ribs and then lengthening it back out just to neutral. So again, contract your hips up towards the ribs That's going to start to wake up those lower abdominal muscles and abdominal muscles to help bring space into the back. And then neutral. And so you'll just do that a few times where you tuck and neutral, and just try to see if you can tuck without clenching your glutes. Just nice and easy. Use those abdominals. Zip up from your pubic bone to your belly button and up to your ribs. And neutral. So that's one of the first ways that you're going to prime your pelvis and your back. And then from there, we're going to go into a little bit more of a lift off, where you're going to roll your hips up to a bridge, where you're trying to go for a straight line through your thighs, to your hips, and then to your torso. Here, right where the butt meets the hamstring, you got to squeeze there, squeeze at your sits bones, press the thighs and the hips straight up to the floor. Try not to over tuck here, so just press straight up. Now, the big piece here that I'm a huge fan of that makes such a big difference is to pull the heels energetically back to the hips. So just energetically pull the heels back and then relax. Pull the heels back and relax. You'll feel your body shift down as you pull the heels back and relax. One more time. Pull the heels back and now hold that. From here, squeeze at the hamstrings, squeeze at the lower glutes and the sits bones, and little pulses up, squeeze, hold. That opens up the hip flexors, and then a softening. Press up and hold. Let that strengthen in the back to stretch the front of the hips, hip flexors, and even quads. And lower. Let's do two more. Pulse up and lower. Pulse, squeeze, and hold up. And then roll down. Start rolling down from the top of your spine all the way down, down, down until you're back at neutral. So you should feel those hamstrings now. That's going to help to start the process of counterbalancing some tight hip flexors. You could go into some big lunges and some big quad stretches, but this is still where you want to start. Next exercise, let's get into those abs a little deeper. Shout out to Jenny Backus, who inspired this exercise. This has been one of my go-tos from way back in the day, from when I was dancing at Chapman University. And this is one that has saved and helped keep my low back really strong because of the support of the abdominals. So here, the hands go behind the head. You're going to feel a little bit of an imprinting, that little bit of tuck in your pelvis. Now exhale, slide your ribs down to your hips to come up into a curl. Keep that rib to hip connection, grab onto the legs and help yourself up a little higher. Now you're not going for an impressive lift, you're just going for one that makes sense to stretch open the low back and to connect deeper into the front of your abdominals here. Deepen your belly to your back, and then you're going to reach, and then you're going to take the arms up and over, get a little quiver, support the head, and lower down. We'll do that again. So you curl up, imprinting at the same time. Grab, pull up, and deepen, deepen the belly. Sink your abs like quicksand down into the floor. And then reach and extend those arms over to the head and back. Two more times. A curl. Grab and pull. Continue to keep those ribs to the hips and your low back just easy into the floor. Arms go over and back. One more time. Exhale. Put it all together. Grab and pull. Hold here. Extend the arms. Let's add little pulses. 1, 2. Keep melting your belly and your low back into the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Over and down. Ooh, got a quiver there for sure. Now we got to attack those obliques. So similar setup. You come up. Grab the right leg. Go across on that diagonal. Left rib to right hip. Arms go around. Come back to center and down. So you don't want to see your abs pushing at all. You got to draw the belly button deep into the back. Pulling it in, sucking it in from inside. Left side, curl up. Left side, grab and pull. Stay there as the arms reach around. Come back to center and down. And we'll just do one more set. Curl. Grab and pull. Stay in that deep spiral now and reach. Control back to center and down. Working deep, working with control. And up. Come across to the left. Reach. Come back to the center and down. And then release the arms. And then we'll just finish with another bridge there. You can do as many of these as you want, but I'm just giving you samples, little tastes. So once again, let's pull the heels towards the hips, and then let's roll the hips up, up, up towards the bridge. Keep the heels pulling back. Press down firmly through the arms. Wake up your whole back body here. Holding and breathing. Thighs high, hips high, abs in, ribs in. If the ribs start to pop, you're going to start to create other issues up higher in your back. And we want to get out of all of the issues we already have and not create new ones. So staying there, last breath. And then roll down one vertebra at a time. Good, and then you can just do an easy side to side with the knees. Very gently wringing out the spine. Continuing to breathe. Okay, so those are the exercises for today, and I hope you benefited from that, or I hope you enjoyed. I've definitely got some sweat going on. Pretty good, and we didn't do many sets. The thing is, it was quality work versus quantity, and so I hope you can apply those exercises to your days. And I think my phone's upside down. Oh, hey there. Okay. So I hope you can apply these exercises to your day, and let me know how it goes. And I'd like to see some results for you. And so let me know if you've got some feedback, some questions, anything like that. In the comments below, I will link some of the exercises that I recommend that are particularly related to this issue of the tight low back and tight hip flexors. But all of the videos will kind of help with the whole body. It's about the whole body. It's not just these sections, because it's all related. So you can work the individual sections, but know that you want to keep the whole system, the whole body functioning really well, really in good harmony and synergy. And I hope that you had a wonderful time. I did. Have a good one. Bye.